Leo, one of my favorite people in SEO and the world. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you.
So, for the people who are in IMG and don't know about you yet, can you give just a little intro about who you are and what you're
Sure.
about?
Yeah. Okay, my name is Leo Soulas. My background is in data science and computer science. I've worked for over a decade in companies like Goldman Sachs, Comcast, doing machine learning. And around like 4 years ago, I found the beautiful world of SEO. I got immersed in it. I My first interaction was with affiliate sites, so I started from that point. And what I quickly understood was that this space fits my skill set perfectly because the way that SEO is designed is segmented into very nice and compact modules like keyword research, optimization, on-page optimization, or building. Like we have like you guys, like because it's like a reverse engineering kind of thing, you have like found a way to just segment what you need to do into different modules and different sort of SOPs because there's an inherent sort of trend that people are working with VAs overseas that maybe they don't speak the same language. So even the SOPs are so well segmented that I found that they can be automated. So I started automating a lot of the things that I needed to do, like even link building and outreach. And one of the very first things that I started automating was keyword research. And over the years, I started like developing different approaches, playing with different algorithms, and starting like getting more obsessed about this and more interested in how we can derive sort of meaningful analytics and data-driven sort of insights from what we observe from the world that Google is showing us.
That's amazing. And so that leads us to your course,
Yeah,
Genesis. Can you tell us a little
Genesis.
bit about that?
Genesis, like the name is not my proudest achievement, but I struggled a lot with it, what I should call it. And I'm not taking myself too seriously. So like I just want to play with it. Genesis means birth in Greece, right? In Greek. And I'm Greek for those who don't know. But that is in a sense where I'm going with the course. So the concepts that we're going to be discussing is pretty much the starting concepts of every project. Every article that you're writing goes through the same kind of mental project or process of finding a keyword or an idea or a demographic that you want to focus on, and then going and finding out what are the keywords, what you should be talking about, and then finding out how to structure your content around it. And the same goes if you are creating a brand new site or if you are appending a different sort of category in your site to target a different vertical and increase your target audience. So the concepts that we're going to be going over is 3 modules. Again, weird, but Veni Vidi Vici. I came, I saw, I conquer. So I came, we're going to be talking about market research. In particular, we're going to be using Facebook and Snapchat to just see how we can get data-driven sort of insights from there. And that is where I'm focusing on. I don't want to go over an approach that I'm like, I sat down and, I smoked something and I came up with this kind of sort of target demographic that I came up with and somebody else couldn't. So I'm trying to go over ways that we can sort of play with platforms that have massive amounts of data like Facebook, and specifically Facebook Audience Insights, in order to start understanding what are the demographics of the people that they have collected in order to be able to get an idea. Maybe we can develop a persona that we can talk to, because this is evidently are going to be the people who are visiting our website.
Mhm.
And then we're going to be talking about automation. I have also started publishing some Google collaboration notebooks, which is Python notebooks. You don't need to install anything. You just go to the site. It's free site. You just click it, you run it. And the whole point is like, I want people to start sort of dipping their toes in the waters of automation, because I hear this a lot from SEOs. Like, I want to automate my keyword research. I want to automate my communication with my emails and my VAs or something. And it's possible. You just need to, step out of the box and just see how you can do it, because there is a learning curve of like, how do you install Python? How do you install the packages? What happens if you have different operating systems? So there's a lot involved, and that thing will quickly allow you to even scrape Google. In a sense, I have like one of the notebooks is how you can perform all the queries automatically. Again, there are caveats, like if 1,000 people trying to use this, it's not going to work. This is going to be blocked. But the principles are the same. So you can just put 1,000 keywords and you can get the SERPs. So that is included in the course. And then the last part is how you can, now you have collected this massive amount of keywords and ideas, how you can derive structure from this, again, in an automatic way, not by just sitting and be like, tuxedos go with suits and ties. And I have developed a tool out of my own research and need for this called Keyword Cupid, which we will be introducing. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. Again, full disclosure, it's my tool. So I'm introducing other tools. I'm going over through their approaches. My whole point is not to plug my own things. It's just for you to understand what you need to do, what you're getting into, what are the different approaches, why sometimes things do not work, what are the caveats with every system, even my own, and just get an idea of what's happening. That's the general description.
Yeah, that's incredible. And, it's such a foundational piece of every project. So this is going to be absolutely key.
Yeah. And to your point, for me, I by no means I want to say that this is the only way of doing this. Actually, this is not the easiest way of doing it for sure, because it involves a lot of upfront research on what is the persona that I'm targeting, what is the initial keyword that I'm going after in order to just put this persona in place. But what I want to, what I truly believe, and that's why I pivoted my tool too. In the beginning, it was just a tool that you provide a keyword and it did the keyword research. But for me, keyword research in its inception is the soul of any online marketing activity, any SEO project, affiliate, whatever. It's the actual foundation that differentiates me from you and someone else. So that thing should not be taken lightly or automated. I mean, we're automating it, but the ideas behind it shouldn't be automated. And that's why I'm trying to introduce something that maybe will start a conversation of thinking outside of the box, maybe just looking, we're talking about how you can derive insights from Amazon product descriptions, how you can get that, put it into a document, and then just get the topics that other people are talking about. So in a sense, I want people to start thinking, okay, I want to write about pets. What do I know? I know about pet toys and pet food. Let's write about that. But that's so boring. Everybody does that. So how you can go in a different direction, and just to give a sneak peek, what we found out, again, through data-driven approaches, this wasn't my assumption, is that if you're a woman in your 20s and you're interested in dog things and you are in a relationship, you're about to get married. Again, I know this is a generalization, but it will make sense once you see the modules. But that was what Facebook was pointing to us, the percentages and the actual the indexes, which is the differences between their population and the population that has the characteristics that we said, was that much bigger. So then it makes sense to start researching, what does this person look for? And then is how we came up with very interesting insights, in my opinion. For example, a floral dog harness for weddings, or a dog in suit and tie, or dog save the dates. So there's a lot of different things that we can touch, and a style that we're going to create that targets directly to them. And they're like, yeah, I need this now because I'm in this phase. And that's the general gist of it.
Wow. And so what type of person is really going to benefit most from your course?
Yeah. So I want to believe that, it's open to every level, because there's going to be some interesting things that even experts might not have heard. There is a really little sort of neat, I don't think that it's going to be used much, but that thing alone is very important for me. From Google AdWords, you can find out what sort of category Google classifies your website. And it shows you that, because when you put your site in order to be able to run Google Ads, it gives you the categories on the right-hand side. So that alone is very important for me for link building. And there are little caveats, there are little snippets of knowledge that people can take and use in their own sort of pipelines or different use cases, not just the one that we're discussing. So hopefully the advanced people are going to benefit from it. It is meant to be sort of introductory level because of the nature of it. It doesn't define that you have a massive site and we have to do optimization in terms of the pages and just or the link, the anchor text or the interlinking anchor text, we have to switch it. You can start from a brand new site and start developing those concepts. So I want to hope that it's for every level. That being said, there are concepts inside that are more sort of advanced, like the machine learning behind the clustering or the Python coding. So if you don't have to understand Python, you can just use, I'm showing you that you just press Shift Enter and it runs the cell, but the code is available. So if you want to go, you can open it and just see how am I deriving the intent from the title. You can take this module and use it for something else. So hopefully it's going to be quite approachable. Like it doesn't have to be, something like very complex. And yeah, my target's all SEO levels. And obviously, like if there are things that do not make sense or they're complicated, we're gonna hold AMAs. I want to take people through this. I want to answer questions live. I want to see how we can, like shape this in order to be actually, helpful for people, not just, put it out there.
That's excellent. And so you do this not just for Keyword Cupid, but you've seen actual success with this keyword research. Can you talk a little bit about maybe a case study or two?
Yeah, and I have several clients because my sites are like affiliate sites, so I don't usually share them for obvious reasons. But I am preparing a lot of different case studies with clients that are using this. And like I was talking with a friend of mine that a couple of days ago, and he's in the hazardous waste kind of space. And after he was telling me how he implemented those things for his clients, the topical silos, and then they jumped page one right away. Because the way that, and like I have other use cases, like I have a friend that we're also like creating a case study with, that they're using this for PPC. Another one that's using that from YouTube. They are creating like this sort of massive playlist of different sort of topics, and then they are pointing to each other. And then this, in a sense, ranks like the end channel. The channel ranks for all the topics. Another one's using it for link building. Like they are creating sort of all the topical, all the silos that I'm putting inside. They're creating different Web 2.0s, and then they're pointing them to one entity that goes back into their site. So there's definitely a lot of, like, Keyword Cupid right now has its own life. Like people are just using it for everything, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Personally, what I have seen, and that's what I keep like sort of building upon, is that it's not just enough right now to write a very important article. It's not enough nowadays to just have a cornerstone piece that is about the subjects that you want to rank for. The way that Google crawler works is that it goes to your site, it touches your page, and then tries to find out other supporting or other sort of articles to reinforce the idea that you're talking about what you're talking about. Because it cannot read English and be like, yeah, you are an amazing writer and you are excellent about what you're discussing. It has some semblance based on the vectors that it's using and the natural models like BERT and Electra and whatever else they're using that understands that piece, but it needs the reinforcement from the supporting pages. And that's what I'm advocating, that I'm calling it the content mode, which is like you have like your pillar page, but you need things around it to sort of drive up the relevancy of that page and make it rank. And that's what we're discussing in Keyword Cupid, how you can just have your main pillar page and just very quickly find not only the pages that are very standalone, but how those pages relate to other pages and how you can create a silo around them.
Yeah. Wow. This seems like a really great course. So many nuggets. Even in this video, I'm already, Snapchat, really great.
Snapchat, not many people know that. And I didn't know that either, but Snapchat has a different sort of, or because people know Facebook Audience Insights, but there is Snapchat Audience Insights too, which is the advertising platform on Snapchat. And the reason that this is different is because it uses different data. I have used their actual raw data in the companies I work for extensively, like Experian data. Experian data is like a massive data set from the credit card information of the United States. Like they have like sort of demographics about anything, about like the household composition, like the credit card informations, like the whatever, we're all filed in this kind of But now what you can do is that you can say that I want to find out what is the average household income of a person that's 25 to 35 and it's a female and it's a single mother and has a dog or like is interested in Petco. And now you can find out what are the different ones. So you can start coming up with a story, and that's where I'm advocating. And I know it's tedious and I know it's time consuming, but it's important nowadays because you need to also connect with your audience and write things, because there's a sheer amount of information. Everybody, especially after COVID, like everybody is looking at online, is looking at ways to make money online and not be tied to a place. So the competition is rising. People are writing things. The person who's going to take the cake is the person who is talking to me like they know me. And that's what I'm trying to advocate.
Excellent. Well, is there anything else you want to add about the course or any takeaways that you're excited for people to get?
Yeah, no, I'm excited to start a conversation, and especially around open source software. Like, how can we, build upon those very simple scripts that I have put, and just create more sort of interesting code to automate and help all of us. It doesn't have to be a paid tool. It can just be. I come from an open source background, so it's much easier to build amazing things when there's 1,000 developers rather than 10 developers that are being paid. So that's the whole gist that I wanna push, is like that. Let's think outside of the box and let's think all together and just make cool things that will benefit all of us.
Yeah, I really think this is going to open up a lot of doors for a lot of people.
Hopefully.
And thinking. So yeah, thank you, Leo. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye.
Bye.